Hello, and welcome on another Block Chat with Dennis Petrovacic and Makram Hani. Dennis last time tried to sneak out and not tell us everything we need to know about version 05. This time, we'll definitely make it happen. Dennis, let me tell you something. We will need, please, everything that anyone can know today about version 05. It's your
Okay.
camera. Let's
Okay.
run.
All right. But just to let you know that this everything we need to know, we now know 90% of it. Okay. So we're still in the process of developing v0.5. So some things might change a bit from here to the next. And Makram, I think something's happening with the sound because I hear myself right now from your microphone somehow.
I hear you right. I hear you.
Okay. All right. So v0.5 is the next iteration of Oceanpoint. And for those that are new to our community, we are boringly naming the versions, the iterations that we do, the new features that we introduce on Oceanpoint with a boring v0.1, v0.2, v0.3, and so forth. And obviously, the goal is to get to v1.0, which I will hopefully be proudly saying then, okay, now we're not in beta anymore. Now, let's recap first where we are today. So we have launched Oceanpoint with the governance pool, where basically you can stake BST to earn BST and receive sBST back. sBST.
So what is BST? It's a Blocksquare token for those who don't know.
Exactly. sBST is a share in that governance pool. And what it gives you is it gives you governance rights over the protocol decisions. Currently, we're still running with a governance board, but in due time, when full decentralization happens, sBST has on-chain governance capabilities. That's like shortly said. The next thing we introduced was asset pools. And now we run with two asset pools. We run with v0.2, which is the asset pool for issuers, and it enables any real estate owner to tokenize the real estate property. If that's owned as an individual or a company, both is possible. And what they receive is they receive 10% of the value of the real estate asset. They receive it digitized, tokenized, represented by 10,000 tokens of their own property. Now, what they can do is they can stake those tokens for a minimum of 6 months in the issuer pool, and there they earn rewards. Now, where do these rewards come from? Blocksquare as a token is designed to always, or a maximum supply, possible supply, to be 100 million. We put 40% or 40 million of BST tokens on the side to reward contributors, users that come to Oceanpoint and engage with it. And this is being distributed on a rate of 500,000.
And why have we done that, guys? Let me tell you why have we done that before Dennis continues. We've done that because we are aware that what we're doing is futuristic when we started it, and today is an infant while we're running through with it, or an embryo. And we are aware that it needs motivation, education, and stimulation for us to be able to get to people's hearts, minds, and to make sure that they understand how would they deploy what's in their pockets and in their hands to add more of it. And that's why 40% of BST is to reward people who do engage now with what we're doing as an ecosystem and environment. Sorry, go ahead, please, Dennis.
And the incentive is for everybody who is part of the community, the Blocksquare DAO through BST, the incentive is obviously to grow this at a faster rate, right? Because why? Because then it means that the time when this reward distribution system can be stopped is maybe sooner than we anticipated. But what we did anticipate, or what we gave ourselves and the DAO community and the core team, etc., is a timeline until 2029. After that date, there's no more rewards. But chances are that the engine, the system that we built, is self-sustaining. Why? Because the core asset is cash flowing, it's real estate. Now, if we go back then to V0.3, what we did is, Oceanpoint is about liquidity. It's about bringing liquidity to an ecosystem of tokenized real estate, marketplaces, and tokenized real estate assets. And what we introduce is the first liquidity pool. The liquidity pool is Ethereum and BST. It's deployed through the popular Uniswap protocol. And then what you can do is you can provide liquidity there, and you can take those liquidity provider tokens and lock them into Oceanpoint to be basically rewarded in BST. This 500,000 BST is split between those three pools, or pool categories, let's say. And in the asset pools category, we also have a BSPT community pool. The community pool is to create an additional incentive for people that buy Blocksquare property tokens on any marketplace, but the property needs to be eligible for staking, obviously here, which requires a certain due diligence process by our risk team. Now, there, what happens is you can go to the marketplace, you can buy into a property, and you can say, hey, I'm really happy with the 6% return that this property is yielding to me. But the other option is I can go to Oceanpoint, I can stake it there, and I can receive a more risky return, let's say, in BST. And then what happens with the normal returns that I receive from the property, I give them to the DAO. And the DAO, then what it does, it utilizes this to buy BST on the market and burn it, decreasing the circulating supply of it.
Thus, logically increasing the value of the BST you've earned.
Exactly.
Logically.
All right. So this is where we are now. With V0.5, we are decentralizing further on governance. We are opening up the doors to be involved in the earnings of various marketplace operators that choose this method. And we are decreasing the barrier to enter, the financial barrier to enter for a marketplace operator, for a company that wants to operate a marketplace. Now, some of you may know that we have, in the tokenomics of BST, we have achieved that the license, the software license or access to the system is closely attached to BST. Some will say, how is that possible? It's actually fairly simple. We've taken a resolution that any company that holds sBST is receiving discounts up to 100%. For every 10,000 sBST actually that they hold, they receive 10% discount on their invoice for that month. Which means that if they hold 100,000 sBST, they're platinum partners and they can run at the cost of Ethereum gas, which is something, but it's close to nothing if you think of it. Even if the marketplace has hundreds of millions of properties listed. Now, today, this is
By the way, this doesn't mean, guys, that Blocksquare doesn't earn of that. We reach to that later. We've talked about it in the past. Yeah.
Now, some may say, all right, that's great, but what's V0.5? Now, what we have at the current moment in the sales process that Blocksquare does with future marketplace operators, this option is presented. And then it depends on how traditional the company is. But honestly, if they are really seriously thinking of opening up a marketplace of tokenized real estate, they're way beyond just being traditional, right? They're thinking where the next frontier for real estate finance is, and they're choosing this path. And going through the partnership program into acquiring a platinum member status currently costs a certain amount. 100 BST, I think it's still around 300-ish thousand BST. The cost of BST on the market goes up and down, different prices, etc. But we're talking about values below 100,000. Now, if BST grows, this becomes less and less affordable. How many platinum members will we have? Not many. Nobody's going to pay $1 million for, or invest $1 million to run a marketplace. Maybe yes, I don't know. But this becomes an option that versus the option that paying in fiat for the licensing is totally unreachable. So we were thinking, why wouldn't the sBST that for the license come from anybody from in our community? Why would they need to buy into the market and provide it themselves? Why can't we have a structured, standardized process how anybody can safely be part of that marketplace? You hold 10,000 or 5,000 sBST or 1,000 sBST, you can stake them now in the pool of that particular marketplace. And these are marketplace pools, basically. So how they work, we have a smart contract that acts as a factory contract, just much like we do have it with the BSPT. There we have a factory contract that generates a new blank BSPT contract that is then assigned and populated with real estate information for that particular asset. Here, it creates a new pool contract. This pool contract requires sBST in the first place to be created. So the marketplace operator does require a minimum of 10,000 sBST when they are creating this marketplace pool. They can provide even more, and the maximum amount is 100,000 sBST. So by how much they put in basically defines how much is left for the community to kind of fundraise from the community. Now, the community will not just probably simply just go and say, hey, let me stake in this pool. No, they will want to know what is this pool about? What is this marketplace going to do differently than the other one that's also listed there, right? Why should my sBST go into you guys, to this team, instead of the other one? So the team will probably have a pre-campaign where they will be pitching, presenting, doing events, maybe through regional hubs and through Discord, etc., on what they are building, why their marketplace would be successful. And once this is done, the pool opens up and people can pledge their sBST in that pool. There's a limitation of ticket size that basically kind of grows towards the end of the funding period, let's say, that is defined. There's a minimum lockup period for the community sBST, and then there's a minimum lockup period for the certified partner for their allocation. The minimum time for the lockup for the community is the intended launch time of the marketplace, when they are planning to launch the marketplace. The lockup period for the marketplace operator is at what time they believe they will reach the KPIs that they have set for themselves. The KPIs are fairly simple: amount of users, amount of tokenized assets, amount of value they've tokenized. So these are the KPIs that can be part of it. And after that, let's say that the pool is set up in 6 months for the community lockup and 12 months for the KPI evaluation. After 12 months, the governance board evaluates the KPIs, also involves the community in that process maybe, and then a decision is made. Does the marketplace operator have they reached the KPIs? If they have, the withdrawal is possible now for the marketplace operator to withdraw the deposited amount, initially deposited amount. Probably they will keep it there, but this option becomes available. And on the other side, there's the next option, which is they haven't reached the KPIs, but they're really close, right? So let's give them another 3 months so they can reach their goals, right? And the withdrawal is still locked. That's it. So it has flexibility. And then there's the option of, well, these guys haven't done anything, and unfortunately, we should foreclose the pool. In this case, the deposit is taken from the marketplace.
And this is to protect the effort of the community, of those who are putting an effort and who are active. Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. Now, what happens with that sBST? This is something that is still open. We're thinking about things like burning BST, the underlying BST. We're thinking about various things. Let's leave this open for and up for discussion. And if somebody from the community has an idea, like, come to us and give us your thoughts.
Suggest your ideas, guys. You know, how does it look? I'm burning BST. It looks evil. You hear? Yeah. What are you gonna do? I'm gonna foreclose the pool and burn the BST.
Yeah.
Okay. So
it's evil.
This is an rundown. Sorry?
It sounds evil, but it's not. That the purpose is obviously not. But
it is to protect the community and those who are putting efforts and creating and adding impact and value. At the end of the day, we have an obligation to do that as a protection act. And the obligation.
It needs to be set up in a way, Makram, that makes it simple to understand and it's fair, right? Put your money where your mouth is, type of thing. And I think this is perfectly simple and mechanics that can be implemented within the smart contract. It's similar to the issuers BSPT pool for the issuers, where the ownership needs to be re-verified after the staking is withdrawn, after they withdraw the tokens from the staking pool. And obviously, and if they can't provide proof of ownership, then again, the rewards are not distributed to the user, but instead burned. Now, here I want to touch the next point in terms of v0.5, which you wanted to tell me, but you told me, tell us everything about it, right? And the next part is rewards, right? How do I get reward? Why would I put sBST in a marketplace pool? And basically, as these marketplaces are businesses, right? This is a business that is being created using our technology. There's transactions that will happen. There's primary offerings, there's primary transactions, and secondary market transactions. And on the secondary market, a marketplace operator earns 0.5% at each trade. Now, here, that 0.5% will go into the marketplace pool and be split between the certified partner and the community involved. Then we have the primary offerings. Here again, there's a fee that the marketplace can take on that transaction, right? And I think this is compelling, but it might take some time, right, for a marketplace to start operating. It might take 3, 5, 6 months. I don't know. It really depends on the type of marketplace that is being launched and the people behind it. Now, here the idea is that the stakers from the community need to be rewarded somehow and incentivized to actually be engaged in these pools instead of not engaging and being passive. So what's being done is that the part of rewards that goes to the governance pool, a part of it is directed to the marketplace pools. And the marketplace pools compete between each other for that reward. So it's important for you to choose the right marketplace, because one marketplace pool might yield more than the other. So it needs to have you as a sBST holder, you need to put some thought of it into it and then make it your evaluation, right? And
so you need to start vetting the partner, the marketplace operator.
Yeah. So in this way, we want to kind of decentralize opinion, decentralize the ability for companies to run our tech, and for them to give them a tool that they can use to already start growing more awareness of what they're doing, of their brand within the ecosystem itself. Because I think we might grow into an ecosystem where we have, 100,000 members. That's already a powerful ecosystem in itself. And getting your brand in front of that audience is through this kind of process might prove to be quite even maybe required for every marketplace that wants to launch. But let's first start with the first set of marketplaces and then we go from there.
Cool. I believe that this rundown that took us through the progress from version 0.1 to version 0.5 and what's coming is supplement to a block chat that we've done before talking about regional hubs. Guys, this is the progress in our ecosystem. Our community is playing a vital role in making that possible. Members of our community who've joined us as members of our team are also putting an effort and making that happen. So this is a heart and a soul that is pumping in an asset that, as I call it, the most diverse pot of assets in one, real estate. And you have a cash flowing asset that's put on steroids because we're adding liquidity, an additional level of transparency and ability to understand and standardize our standardized elements of it. All of this is what's coming. Dennis, do you want to tell anything else to our community this week?
I don't know. I think everybody that's enjoying their summer, enjoy the summer.
And the Amas are doing well, huh? The Amas are doing well. Thank you for all of those who are enjoying and engaging with us and adding value to it. Because every time you ask a question and a member of the team answers it, you don't only answer, or we don't only answer the question for you. You have created an opportunity for us to answer questions that other people had, but probably didn't ask or didn't think of asking. So thank you for that. Enjoy your summer. Until another block chat. By the way, we killed it this time, under 30 minutes. This is what we hope to do in the future.
We've made it, huh? We've made it. Except if maybe now we start adding some conversation or a new thought, and then maybe just we come back to 40
minutes. We float to a 40 minutes immediately and we end up, oh, sorry, we missed for another block chat. Until then, thank you for being with us. Dennis Petrovicic and Makram Hani. Have a good time.
Bye.